I mean, if that's not evil, I don't know what is.
Yeah, and there's not a conscience by them thinking, oh, hey, we should be
Yeah. Well,
like loan sharks kind of is what they are.
Yeah, or the mob.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's the problem is with the corporate world is that nobody's responsible. That nobody's to blame. I mean, you have to be pretty blatantly in the wrong before somebody's going to go to jail for anything corporation does. And the whole concept corporations were invented. I think it had to do with people wanting to ship cargo. And nobody would invest in a ship because so many ships would get sunk and so on. Mm-hmm. So the concept of a corporation was invented that for a very limited purpose, you can have a corporation and you will be immune. You won't lose the money. The corporation will lose the money and you'll be safe. That was basically would protect the individuals involved in the corporation. Now we're at a point where the Supreme Court says corporations are individuals and have freedom of speech rights.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is just crazy.
I think our founding fathers are not happy with what we're doing.
No,
They are rolling over in their collective graves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, believe me. It's frightening because this whole cycle, this whole conglomerate mess has been made. Mm-hmm. I mean, are you familiar with hydraulic fracturing?
No. Sounds like a band. Hydraulic fracturing.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Please tell me.
Yeah, it's called fracking.
Fracking. I'm familiar with something similar.
Yeah. That's good to hear.
Fracking. Tell us about fricking and fracking.
I don't know the particulars. I know a little bit about a lot of things.
Yeah, that's what we're doing here, too. So if we're totally wrong, 262-694-1050.
We're protected by the corporation.
We are the corporation.
Well, hydraulic fracturing is, let me just say two words, and you probably will have some idea of what it's all about. Dick Cheney.
Before he dicks you.
Yeah. Okay. We keep hearing about all the natural gas reserves we've got, and that made me feel really good. I mean, it's like, hey, we've got gas reserves to last us for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. One of the negatives about it is we use those natural gas reserves to make artificial fertilizer. So instead of using the manure that's there, that's a waste problem, we're using up a resource that we could use as a fuel to make artificial fertilizer.
Sure.
So it turns out the fracking process, or fracking, I'm sorry, it's called fracking. Mm-hmm. The fracking process has
frack
to do
yourself.
with cracking the earth apart, essentially. Mm-hmm. Like down, I think they go down a couple miles or something like that.
Wow.
And it causes all these fractures, right? Mm-hmm. So the natural gas can be gotten out. I think they get something like 8 times the yield.
Yeah, see Halliburton Corporation and natural gas lines through Iran and Iraq and Saudi Arabia. That there's a big gas line over there. Halliburton and Dick Cheney go hand in hand with all this kind of stuff. I do know a little bit what you're talking about.
I don't care if you're a Democrat or a Republican. You got to look at him, and he is the devil.
So what happens now is the water table gets polluted. And there's a movie out called Gasland, which is about this.
Mel Brooks do that movie? More beans, Mr. Taggart? I think you've had enough.
That was quick. That was very quick.
Yeah. Once in a while, I'll pull one out.
Yeah, it's a good thing you do that to keep this from getting too heavy.
That's right, seriously, because it is depressing if you think about this. I don't mean that, no jokes. It is depressing to think about all these things that we're just people, rats going to our cheese every day or trying to make an honest living. I think I don't know the percentage. It's got to be over 80 or 90% of people in Iraq, Afghanistan, Kenosha, wherever it is, want to have a good life, raise some children, live in peace, all the things that humanity is supposed to do. And then these crackpots, Cheney's a good example, that just fruit basket upset and screw with everybody else.
Yeah. And back to what I mentioned earlier, it's all about ego. That's what it is. Ego, power, money, bang.
Yeah.
So, and eventually, I hope we get to meditation.
Well, we will. Now, how long can you stay? We were going to have you till 11. If you want to stay a little after 11, can we talk about that?
It's up to you.
You know, we'll take our break early. If you want to talk to Eno, a lot of things, as long as you like to stay, we'd love to talk to you.
Sure.
262-694-1050. If you want to jump in with us, we'd love to have you as well. We'll take a quick break, get back more, talk about meditation. AM 1050 is WLIP.
You're listening to the Mothership Connection on AM 1050 WLIP, your cosmic link to the other side.
Sausage links, cosmic links, we do it all here at the Mothership Connection. Welcome back. Sunday evening is not the same without talking about weird, wacky, otherworld things. That's what we do here on the Mothership Connection. I'm Dobie Maxwell, the king of Uranus. Also, Shelley Maas-Hernandez joins us. Greg Deguire is here with his kidney stones. No rattling sounds on the other side of the studio just yet. Also joining us in studio, Eno Yaw is here. 2bitguru.com is his website if you'd like to check out some of his new blogs. He'll have some more blogs after that. Hopefully we'll have him on our site. You can also get his information from our site, themothershipconnection.net. So I think that's all of our commercials, right? Is that correct?
Yep.
I want to come back.
And his stuff is on our web.
So anytime a guest is on, if they can't get it, they can go to our website and it'll be connected to yours. That's the way it goes. Now let's talk about meditation. We wanted to get into that a little bit.
Okay, let's finish up with the natural gas thing.
Okay, natural gas.
One of the things that has come up with this recently, was it Arkansas or Alabama that was having like successive earthquakes?
I thought it was Arkansas, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's one of the two. I think
that's
was.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the speculation has been made that enough fracking going on has caused things to shift with the earth and promoted these earthquakes.
Doesn't surprise me in the least. Makes perfect sense.
So, I mean, we're in this situation where we're crazy for more and more fuel. And if you really want to get depressed, look for a Chris Smith movie called Collapse. Mark Rupert, I think the guy's name is. He's an investigative journalist. It's sort of like an Errol Morris movie. It's got that, if you're familiar with Errol Morris.
No.
Errol Morris did The Fog of War.
You're talking Lithuanian. I'm open to these movies. I haven't heard of them.
The Fog of War.
The Fog of War. I've never heard of that movie.
It was.
Is Clint Eastwood in it?
No.
And I haven't seen it.
I can't think of any other title. That would be the most famous title. He won an Academy Award for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Collapse is done by Chris Smith, the guy who did American Movie.
Now, that one I've heard of.
Yeah. Collapse is this Mark Rupert guy talking about the poop's going to hit the fan because we're running out of oil.
Now, I think that's crap. Seriously, I tell the story often. I'll make it quick. But I was working up in Calgary, Canada, and a gentleman up there, that's like the Texas of Canada.
Yeah.
They go through an oil boom, and they can't get anybody to work fast food because everybody's got a job up there working in the oil industry. They're offering $15, $20 an hour to work at Wendy's. They can't find workers because they was make a lot of money. They said, you got more money in the western Dakotas than is over in Iraq and also in the Gulf of Mexico, too, but you don't want to dig there because it's hard to get with the shale oil. But you got enough oil for the next 5,000 years in America.
Yeah, but there's, I think, a price we pay for getting the oil out of the shale. Which is maybe not, and I'm going out on a limb here, not unlike fracking. Mm-hmm. I mean, even in Kentucky, they're shaving the tops off of mountains to get at the coal because then you don't have to make a mine. The question, I think, is not, it's like we've got all this natural gas, right? But to get the natural gas out, now we're paying a price for that, too. Okay. And I'm thinking possibly with shale, it would be the same kind of thing. I kind of follow it from just reading about it, but I don't know a lot about it.
But I think it's an antiquated fuel system. Why are we going in that direction? What has not changed in the last 100 years? The combustion engine. Every other technology has zoomed forward, but we're still running a car like we did 100 years ago. Mm-hmm. Spark, what is it? Gas. Spark, same.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to invent something that runs on a hyperbolator. I didn't even know what that is. I'm going to invent one.
Runs on gaseous fumes.
Anything, you know,